Okay, so we're back in, and hopefully I'm downloading XCOM 2 to get ready for War of the Chosen. Oh, that is probably one of my favorite games. But anyway, let's just hurry this up because I know what I'm gonna about to do in War of the Chosen is gonna be a long game because double the health, and so that means longer battles and a longer mission. So that's gonna be fun because I'm probably gonna die. But anyway, so she's still burning up. Oh what? Yeah, I already read that. So anyway, really, little sleep was. Wait, what? Little sleep was had, and I feel completely drained come morning. Even when Hana rises from bed, in spite of a mild fever, and invites me down to breakfast, I can't be bothered to drag myself out from the comforts of the sheets. It's not like I need to do something particularly important today. The rain that has started sometime during the night doesn't help the mood. Okay, maybe it helps just a little. The strange sunny weather has been nice and all, but for it to return as it should be feels like a good sign of things to come. Nope! Perhaps things will settle back to normal, and the crazy drama that has gone on lately will die down. The rhythmic pitter-patter of the rain fills the early morning silence with a steady beat. Thank goodness I don't have to be anywhere in a hurry. I would hate to be caught unawares in this rain. With how it looks outside, it seems that the weather is making up for all the sunny days it has given us with a good old-fashioned downpour. It does let up within the quarter of an hour. However, a day beginning with a cloud burst like this, locals usually take it as an immediate sign. Luxborn's abyssal weather is back, lightly for good. ... I hope they did a damn good job of fixing this place, because I'd rather not have to deal with leaky roofs. Though Hana might find humor in it and perhaps ask me to sing in the rain to wear out my anger, I don't like the idea that the realty did a horrid patch job with the place. Hana, technically, paid millions for this place. It better live up to the price the realty company sold it for. Not that it's something she should be fretting about at the moment, when her health's not at its best. Hana is going to be brought to the hospital for a checkup today, and if anything, I prefer that she focus on getting better. That fever, no matter how slight it is, can't be good for her. What with her odd behavior recently. You'd think she hit her head hard against something while I wasn't looking. Perhaps a proper rest is all she needs, but I'd rather not assume things. I'm a businessman, not a doctor. Wonder of wonders why I even bother agreeing to babysitting duty at that. But here I am, scheduled as today's babysitter for Sarah's brat, once her father drops her off the mansion steps. Uh-oh. Though that is a worry for much, much later. If I wish to, I can ask that nobody bother me while I doze off in a cocoon of comforters. But, as always, somebody has to be a buzzkill.
Are you really going to stay in bed all day?
Ha 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 ha, Schmoken.
What do you want? It's far too early to deal with your nosiness.
You must have been really rattled by what happened yesterday. If you need to talk about it, I am quite qualified in that regard.
Qualified.
And you aren't even the slightest bit bothered. Truly, not even the slightest bit worried?
I was worried. But I realized that it's not my life in danger, is it?
Ha 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 ha.
My worrying will not help matters. Neither will yours.
Loath as I am to admit it, he is right. The whole thing might have rattled me, but there is little point in jumping at every shadow I see from the corner of my eye. I shouldn't lose my head for a threat that might not even come. I should know better by now. But I've never been this worried about a possible threat on my life before. I'll be honest here. If anyone is in danger, it's Hana. I can take care of myself just fine. With security tightened, I'll have at least one guard, if not 5, making sure nobody gets within 10 feet from me without my say-so. Hana, on the other hand, will be away for most of the day to get that fever checked. Upon my assistance, it is a small relief that Johans will be with her.
Are there any updates about the woman?
Being in the dark has me on edge. Information, any at all, may very well help me in calming down.
I've already briefed security about her, and more from the agency will be arriving tonight. But they haven't seen anyone fitting the description.
So you have nothing then? Fat lot of use you guys are. What do I even pay you for? Do me a favor. There's the door. Don't let it hit you on your way out.
Well, there is something. It's about McCulloch.
McCulloch. Can anyone blame me if I show the tiniest bit of interest? She's still not done with the house, and she's a nice enough woman. Plans to go back to sleep are gone.
I called her secretary about taking the day off. He hasn't heard from her over the weekend.
She's probably passed out after enjoying a pint or 2 or 10 in a bar somewhere. She's an adult. It was the weekend. She's allowed to disappear and not think about work. Fuck. I wish I was passed out after a night of drinking. He does know that mobiles are a thing.
That's all well and good, but she's not answering her mobile either. Mr. Parker will be filling a missing persons case with the police if she doesn't turn up today.
Certainly, someone must know where she is. Tabs are kept, without fail, on people who come to work with me. Background checks and constant surveillance until they finish their contracts with the rights. Some would say that it's a bit over the top. But I can't be too safe. Too many want me dead.
What about one of ours? Has anyone seen her? She's pretty hard to miss with how tall the woman is.
The last anyone has seen of her was here, the morning of the party. Your housewarming party.
That isn't good news.
It wouldn't do for the police to hear of this and to suspect.
It's of little import that I can easily prove my innocence. It is all a matter of principle. Because even the accusation of misdemeanor should not stain my reputation. Although, maybe it is a bit too late to hope for a squeaky clean one. Besides, it'll be such a hassle to have police poking about the house looking for a body that doesn't exist.
Now, if we're done here, I'd like to go back to sleep and...
Oh no. Well, there goes any plans of grabbing some shut-eye, rolling over on my stomach. I can only scream into my pillow.
Of course, of course. Ugh.
She has pretty good ears.
Johans, distract her.
Oh, look, it's time for me to go.
You bastard!
Have fun with your little play date. So long, farewell, and auf Wiedersehen. Goodbye.
No, Johans, don't you turn away from me. Keep her busy for an hour. Come on!
Johan must know that he is doing a pretty decent job being a caretaker. That was funny. That was funny.
No, Johans, don't you turn away from me. Keep her busy for an hour. Come on!
I had to press my face against the pillow once more to suppress a groan. You just can't get loyal help anymore.
Hello there, little Fraulein. Your uncle is just upstairs and will be down in a moment. He is super excited to have you today. I hope you're well rested and ready to play a lot.
You're doing this on purpose, you bastard, you.
Bastard.
Yes, that's what I said.
I'll be down in a sec, Munchkin. Let me just...
Die. Change into a fresh shirt. Brush my teeth. Fix my hair. What? Bemoan my very existence. Wish I was anywhere else in the world right now. Don't get me wrong. Kylie is a great kid. Wonderful. Better than most brats her age. But handling a tyke is the last thing I want on my agenda right now with this whole Hana business. Fortunately, I am well versed in how the world works. I long learned that the show must go on, no matter what hurdles come in my way. So, I set to preparing for the day. Running a comb through my hair is just divine and simply makes me feel more human. Bed hair is disgusting, though it isn't as bad now as it was when I was a child. With how expensive a trip to the barber's was, I often had to grow it out until my mother had the time to cut it for me. Aw. The curls and tangles were simply horrid. Why, I was even mistaken as a little girl because of that. It certainly doesn't help that I was named Lucille? A freshly pressed shirt is enough to chase away the last signs of sleepiness. The feel of crisp and clean cloth in my hands is a clear marker to the start of the day. Smoothing down my suit and my hair with a sigh, I steel myself for the horrors. The horrors that come with taking care of a child.
Good morning to you, Luke.
Hey, Kylie. Speak of the devil and she shall appear. Bright-eyed and bushy-tailed, Kylie grins up at me as soon as I open the bedroom door. She swings the backpack she's clutching, hitting my leg in a show of impatience and looking entirely unapologetic for it.
Did you just wake up? Don't tell me you forgot. It's our playdate today.
Something tells me that I'm either gonna be a horrible father or a great one if I ever had a kid. I don't know. That's just too down the road. I doubt I forget. Kylie's visits are a frequent enough time that they found a way into my schedule. They're supposed to be visits to her godmother. But we can't pick who a child gets along with. So long as I'm not busy, her father can drop her off for the day. Which is all well and good for me, if it makes Suarez focus on work I've given him. Besides, she's a bright child, tolerable. Kid's got a good head on her shoulders, and can get pretty mature for her age at times. Of course, they have to thank me for that. Her parents can take partial credit, but Hana and I have been there for this kid since she was just a small babe. Why, I can still remember the first time I saw her. It was during her baptism. The only reason I was there was to accompany Hana, who was to be named Godmother. She was such a tiny thing, not even a year old, and swaddled in her mother's arm in white cloth. It was the first time I really saw an infant up close enough to hold one at least. It had been terrifying to be given a little child to carry after the whole water ceremony. I've never done so before that, to hold a tiny life in my arms. I could have just dropped her on her head, and this little tyke before me would have stopped existing then and there. But the child just smiled at me, babbling non-essential words as children do, and clinging to me even as I tried to hand her off to Hana. She had thought it hilarious and adorable. My suit had been a mess, and I was nearly an anxious wreck by the time I handed her back to her mother. Yet, it was pleasant, too.
Of course I didn't, you little rugrat. I just had to take care of something before you arrived.
Really? Well, I guess that's fine. As long as you told me for work like last time.
Really? Now why don't we go back down and have breakfast in the parlor?
I already ate at home. Papa made one of his tortillas de patatas. He wouldn't let me leave until I finished every bite.
Suresa's infamous tortilla de patas. Those things are a hazard. You can probably use one to how do you pronounce that? I know what it is. To bulge someone into submission with how huge they are. It's a miracle Kylie can still be so energetic. I had trouble staying awake the first time I had one. Speaking of staying awake...
Well, I need some coffee in me at the very least. But if you'd like, you can jump straight to dessert.
Yes! Dessert, please!
It's easy enough to manage Kylie with the promise of sweets. Thankfully. The hard part is managing her before she gets the sweets, because I nearly have a heart attack when the kid races down the stairs. Just the thought of her slipping or breaking her neck is enough to make me rush down after her.
Slow down, the food isn't going anywhere.
The food is going somewhere. In my tummy.
Ah, you little brat. How dare you make me laugh.
Jesus fucking Christ. Children.
With a shake of my head, I usher Kylie towards the parlor and order a maid to bring food for us. Whatever breakfast there is, along with a cup of coffee for me and an ice cream for Kylie. But I can't leave the kid alone for too long unless I want to let her turn the other room into a slaughter ground. True to my expectations, I've only left Kylie alone for a few minutes, but she's already made herself comfortable. The stuff from her backpack has been left scattered across the room, from coloring books and crayons to toys. She's well equipped to amuse herself with no trouble, though I can certainly breathe a little easier if she won't bring her doll along every time she visits. Narcisa, or Sissa, is a creepy little bugger. Oh god. It's because of the eyes. It doesn't help when Kylie left her during one. Finding the thing at the bottom of the stairs, staring up at me at 3 o'clock in the fucking morning is a memory that won't be leaving me anytime soon. Even now, it stares at me from where it's seated. I'm wholly tempted to just throw the thing into the fireplace and banish it from whence it came. I can buy her a prettier doll, a better toy, I will break it. Find a way to get rid of it if it wasn't from Hana, and if only Kylie isn't so attached to it. The thing is some antique doll she found for the brat's 6th birthday. One of a kind. One of a kind, eh? My darling Hana loves her so. And Kylie does try to be a good goddaughter, but she just can't keep her interest long enough with the wife. It's not something that Hana does wrong on her part. She does try so very, very hard. It's just that she doesn't quite know how to really handle children. She's never been around other children when she was young, surrounded by protective adults who cater to her every whim and worry for her safety every minute. When she isn't able to keep up with Kylie, her first instinct is to be strict. Oh, that must be why. That must be why. Impose rules on the child. Treat her as if she is made of spun-glass, like every moment might break her. I, at least, have some idea from being around street kids. Well, I don't think that's the same. I know the games they played and how they think. I know that scraps and skin knees are all part of childhood. Even with how I grew up, I had the time to be a child and not some sheltered hairless. That's a nice way of putting it. With Kylie? As behaved as she can be with her toys and her books and arts, she has to use up all of her energy somehow. To run around the playground and make a mess in the mud, or to even just fake wrestle for a short while. Let her be a child when she wants, I'll say. And if it becomes too much, just bribe her with sweets, or ship her back to her papa. Problem solved. Unfortunately, Hana isn't quite up for those sort of things most of the time, thinking it'll spoil the child. It turns a whole playdate awkward every time. Taking the last seat left, I pluck one of her coloring books from the table to see it filled with dinosaurs. Not exactly what I expect to see for a little girl, but it doesn't hurt anyone. Will it though? Will it? If she wants to play with dolls and cars, or dolls with their cars, what do I care? She once put dolls' tutus on model cars, even. That sounds interesting.
Oh, this is a new one. The last one you had was filled with horses, wasn't it?
Those were ponies, Tio. They're much cuter than horses. We went to a dinosaur zoo, and it was awesome! Very, you know...
Wait, what?
Siri, dinosaurs are my favorite.
Tier dinosaurs are my favorite.
I have no idea what that is, but it must be something. I'm only familiar with the T-Rex myself.
Yeah, they found, fossils of its claws. They're really long.
Are they?
They think the whole theory might be a bazillion meters tall, even bigger than a T-Rex. Narcisa says it'll be big enough to eat all my classmates.
Oh, what the hell is with that look? She only laughs as I scrunch up my nose and grimace.
Takako says you're making a really funny face.
Taka who?
Wait, who's Taka?
Takako, a friend I made.
I have to stop and look around, expecting one of the help to be there. The child does have a way of befriending just about anyone, as long as she puts her mind to it. Yet, the two of us are completely alone. Don't tell me it's that... Oh no. Don't tell me we made friends with her. The dead woman. Thankfully, she only finds my disturbed look as another funny grown-up expression. That might be a lot more problematic than whether she plays with dolls or cars though. Both the thoughts of Sissa giving Kylie ideas, and one of said ideas being massacred by dinosaur. Something I probably need to bring up with her father, aside from work. Ugh. But beyond murderous dinosaurs, creepy dolls, and imaginary friends, I find no trouble with Kylie. She's as energetic and presumptuous as any type her age can be. She's an angel if she can get comfy and settled in after getting her sweets. Ooh, that looks delicious. Waffles? That reminds me, I haven't had a waffle in a long time. Our waffles, because she wanted her own plate to go with the ice cream as soon as she saw mine. A fresh plate of berries is brought in as well, which really goes great with the rest of this feast, as Kylie puts it. And if I indulge in the sweetness, I have a cup of black coffee to pair it off with. Let's see. With our bellies full, Kylie grows content with just scribbling on a scrap of paper and calmly chatting about her week. That's nice though. At least it'll distract her. She talks of her older brother Rowan and their parents, how they plan to go to the Bloxland in Brookshire for the winter holidays. She talks of Miss Pink, and I have to shift my legs to become comfortable once more. The memory of my initial meeting with her still fresh on my mind. She talks of the sad man in the park, and of her new friend who likes to play hide and seek when she's not sniffing in the loo. What? When finally she finds nothing new to talk about, she goes back to her drawings. Sniffing the loo. What? I find that disturbing. Really. That'll change as soon as her stomach settles, of course, the calm before the storm. Because, behaved as she is right now, I can feel the curiosity just radiating off her. There's a restlessness buzzing under her skin, and a question on the tip of her tongue, as they often are with children her age. But, for now, I can take this piece with no complaint, for however long it stays. I have fun with the crayons as well, at the child's insistence, even if I can't really draw. With Kylie using the black crayon, that leaves me with the blue one. I absent-mindedly start to draw a puppy to the best of my abilities. It's as I attempt to give the doodle dogs another eye that Kylie breaks her silence.
Tio? Where did Tia go? I saw them leave when I got here. Tia didn't look so good.
I've been expecting a lot of different questions. The kid always have a bunch of them ready for me, but I can only sigh when she posts this particular one.
She's just going to the doctor's for a checkup.
As kids go, there are follow-up questions.
And you didn't go with her?
Well, you were going to be here, sweetie, so I had to stay behind.
So she's all alone? At the hospital?
Oh.
Oh, no, of course not. Tia has Johannes and her maid and a guard. She's got plenty of company.
Yeah, but you're not with her.
If I didn't know better, I'd say the kid is trying to make me feel guilty. I want to say that the little tyke is evil for making me feel so.
But I understand. When I get sick, Papa and Mama have to leave me with their maids, too.
Well, they don't take care of you?
That doesn't sound right. Even my mom took care of me when I was sick as a child.
Well, they're always busy with work.
Oh, I see. I guess that's no good.
I know she doesn't mean to accuse me of anything. But as her father's boss, maybe I do overwork Suarez a bit. There's a lot of responsibilities that only he is capable of carrying out. Delegation is a thing, sure, but when said responsibilities are legally questionable at best, putting others to the task isn't always an option. But
Maybe your papa is in need of some vacation time. He deserves it, doesn't he? He's a hard worker. I could arrange something for the holidays.
But I could cut him some slack. Some of his assignments can wait. I can't do much for her mom. She isn't one of my employees, but this would have to suffice. It will be worth it if it makes the little girl happy, because just like that, the sombre look on her face turns into one of pure joy. It's like looking at a little sun, warm and bright. It's nice to do something kind every now and then.
Would you really, Tio?
Would you like that?
I'd like that very much, yeah! We can go to this museum! There's one with lots of cool trains and planes! I like trains! And there's the local Mirror theme park! And a monkey forest! There's a kid adventure farm too, the wacky warehouse, and a play barn as well, and...
Whoa, slow down there, Munchkin. I know you're excited, but I think you should let me schedule your dad's day off before you plan a whole year's worth of stuff.
Aww. There's an embarrassed giggle, but she does reel herself in enough to calm down, which is a feat in and of itself. It's obvious how giddy she is. And if she wasn't looking forward to the holidays before, like any child should, she does now.
I think Tia would be really happy if you were with her. You could have told me you needed to go to the hospital with her, Tia. I won't be angry.
I'd love to be with her, but I wanted to spend time with you, Munchkin. And she told me to stay. Besides, I don't like hospitals. They always smell like alcohol. Not the good kind either.
I don't think anybody likes hospitals. They're scary. But you said Tia is brave and strong.
That she is.
A content silence comes over us as we go back to scribbling. Though I stop when I'm done with my blue dog, cringing at how awful it looks. Kylie reprimands me for that because I should be like her. The little tyke goes through several sheets of paper, one drawing after another. Practicing, she says, because practice makes perfect. Not to mention there's a drawing contest coming up in class, and she has to beat Tim from Class D who says girls can't be superheroes. The clay gets a turn too when we start sculpting food and pretending we're Michelin chefs. When we're too tired from tossing pizza and making cakes, there's no trouble in finding God damn myself, in finding another activity more relaxing for the both of us. I find myself invested in reading The Picture of Dorian Gray once more. Often I lose myself in the pages of the book. However, it is rather difficult to do so when I'm also trying to keep an eye and ear out for Kylie. I've been reading the same paragraph over and over again even. Inexplicably, I can feel my skin crawl when a girl sits with Narcisa by the parlor's fireplace humming, singing. Though I ignore it long enough to hear only the tail end of the song.
Everything is up in flames, up in flames, up in flames. Everything is up in flames, my fair lady.
The fuck? Okay. You're not telling me that is weird, Luke? Oh, okay. Alright, so how long is the download? Because I know... Oh, it is close. It is very close. Okay. So, I don't think I can spend any more time with Kylie, considering how high-strung I feel. So, it is a good thing that Sorez came for her as soon as I called. Though it is earlier than the agreed-upon time, he voices no complaint. The bastard even has a look of relief as soon as they left. Or, at least I interpreted it as such from where I stood by one of the windows, not bothering to step out and greet the man. No doubt, he still doesn't trust me around his spawn. Well, he has every right to be suspicious of me. I am a dangerous man after all. But, to my chagrin, that leaves me with the rest of the day with nothing to do. Well, aside from picking up the mess Kylie had left scattered about in the parlor. To my immense relief, she remembered to take her doll home with her this time. But the same cannot be said of the crayons and papers littered here and there. First things first, I snatched my own doodle off the table and ripped it to shreds, leaving no hope that it would be that it will see the light of day. The rest of the drawings, all Kylie's, remain unharmed as I collect the lot. Though they have been stacked neatly on the table before, they must have been blown about when I saw Kylie off. And there are plenty of them. From cats and cakes to colorful rainbows and gardens, the child managed to make a lot during her morning here. There is one more that I have to fish out of the fireplace where I landed. Uh-oh. Expecting to see another one of Kylie's masterpiece, I am instead greeted with something a bit more concerning. Oh, shit. That's the taco. There is me, and there is Kylie. The two of us, side by side, and smiling as our stick figure cells stand in nondescript field. That much I can ascertain without looking at the labels below the doodle's feet. But a third figure stands next to me in the drawing. A woman with her face hidden behind a curtain of black. Tatako. Oh, what the hell? Sure. Yeah, Steam, you do that. Yeah. Takako. Okay, I said that right. The writing under her supplies.
Takako says you're making a really funny face.
One big happy family. Oh god, what kind of ending am I gonna get?
Takahu?
Takako, a friend I made.
Ah, fuck. The hairs on the back of my neck stand on end, and I feel a chill go down my spine. I feel it too! A breath that isn't mine. That has me turning around, expecting, hoping to see someone, anyone, but nothing. And that's when I hear it. That is not Sweet and Merry. Laughter. Sweet and merry laughter ringing from the ballroom. Thinking about it has my cheeks burning and my blood running hot. It's as if I'm being mocked. As I stomp towards the door, I have to stop myself from shouting up a storm. I expect to see some of the help dallying about, idle from their duties. Perhaps they thought they can slack off in their duties without the head butler around and with my preoccupation with Kylie. Well, they had another thing coming. But again, nothing. Nothing from what I can see with a curtsy glance. At the very least, I roam around, looking for near impossible hiding places. And still, I am all alone. Yet, I can still hear the laughter, that accursed laughter echoing about in the room, in my head.
Who's there? Show yourselves and show some respect to the master of the house.
Cold uneasiness settles into my stomach when no one answers. I stumble on my own 2 feet, feeling a wave of nausea come from nowhere. I have to put a hand against the wall to stay upright when the world shifts and pain explodes from behind my eyes. It takes every ounce of self-control not to heave then and there. The only thing my pride allowed me to do then is to close my eyes and attempt to alleviate some of the pain. Vague, unfamiliar images, dare I say memories not mine, flash in my head, unbidden and unwelcome. Like a strong hammer strike to the head, threatening to crack my skull and split it in two. Whatever emotions they hold are muted. I'm nothing but a specter. Still, its weight feels palpable. Though it doesn't take long for these sensations to get into my head, through my eyes and ears, it creeps and buzzes in spaces between. One after the other, they come at me, an unending flood that threatens to sweep me away for what feels like an eternity. Each one, a show of both joy and suffering for those who have called this dimension their home. Each new scene is like a hammer to the head. Oh, God damn it. It's like a hammer to the head, threatening to crack my skull and split it in two. Wait, what? I can feel every little emotion in the blurry images that present itself in my head. Where are the images? I feel a part of these, like I lived through them, though I know that is not possible. All their anger burns through me, that much is vivid, or evident, but the pain's more so. And above all of it are the whispers. The voices calling, luring, until one image emerges in vivid contrast with the others. When there's a shout of joy, my eyes snap open, looking for the culprit. That's when the whole room just changes. Everything is the same, yet everything isn't. Wait, and who is she? Okay, who are these people? I have to know who Lady Charlotte is first. There are people everywhere, laughing and dancing. I think it's her. And this girl, I don't know, maybe a servant? I should be concerned about them, but my mind finds it easy to dismiss them as they fade in and out from nothingness. Instead, I find my concentration drawn to a man and a woman, though one can only call them a lord and a lady, going by their clothes. And, oh, just see how happy the couple looks. Though the man's eyes are eerily blank, like he's not all there, his face is familiar though. In fact, they both are, but I can't quite place why. The two make for a pretty picture as they dance in the center of the ballroom. Even the phantom crowd's attention stay on them. It reminds me so much of Hana and I during the early days of our marriage. The honeymoon years, they call it. We were happy then too. All smiles and her sunshine. Even with the normal dreary weather, younger, we had less to worry about, or at least thought that way. I wished we could go on that way, even with all that I did and had to do. But life has a way of catching up. There was work to be done. Although we had to stay the loving, perfect couple in public, I could not afford to look so weak. To appear tied down to someone else, to those who knew who I really am, I had to harden my heart when I had business. But it hadn't always been so easy to just switch that part of me on and off. I should be concerned about their intrusion too. Ask what in bloody hell they are doing in my house, throwing a party as if they own the place. Ask myself how the fuck I didn't notice what was going on here before, when the parlor and the foyer are both only a few doors away. But I have the feeling that yelling and screaming at them won't do much of anything anyway. None of the others have given me a notice. I realize that this might not even be real. It dawns on me that these two are the people from the paintings, the ones all over the mansion. Which makes sense. I don't think I'm imaginative enough to make all this up on my own. This must be a dream. Or a really horrible high. Just then, I can feel eyes on me as I contemplate the absurdity of the situation. Yet, I find difficulty in trying to tear my eyes away from the two dancing. I manage. And I regret looking away. Oh my lord! Hi! The woman from the balcony stands beside me. I can hear her ratting breath, menacing and chilling. Everything in me screams to run. Why is she holding out her hand? But something pins me to the spot as she just looks at me, watching, waiting. The glamour of their voices fill the ballroom. Although they say such welcoming words, I do not feel comforted by the madness I'm experiencing. Their joyous voices turn sinister and forbidding to my ears. The chorus of people that shouldn't exist, threaten to overwhelm me, drown me even, as I stand on dry land. The music still plays as the phantom chord continues while I stand here, vulnerable and afraid. But the dance has already ended. And I'm afraid that I might just be tonight's entertainment. Attention is all well and good until bullocks like this go down. These phantom people watch me, thousands of eyes scrutinizing, though they cheer for my return. Cajole me to dance and join the mermaid. There are eager hands all over, pulling me in every direction, but they do not move me enough to remove me from the woman's gaze.
Listen. Can you not hear them as they welcome you home?
Oh, see, she's the maid.
Your kind, our kind. You're one of us, my love. We are bonded by the blood we share.
If I thought the voices were overwhelming before, it is nothing compared to how they are now. Their voices are loud, speaking in unison and echoing over on in the spaces of my hand. Why are you holding out your hand? Do you want to dance? Will that bring her peace? They welcome me back, as if I always belonged, as if I was meant to be here in the first place. They call me all these titles and names that do not belong to me, and that man's face, the one with the empty eyes, flashes again before me. Once, fleetingly, like a new memory having burned itself in my mind. I have to struggle for air when I come back to myself after.
I'm not. This isn't.
The welcomes return into screams at my protest, pained and desperate pleas for my help, telling me that it is my duty to stay, telling me that I belong among them, to them. Gentle touches turn near threatening, the warning scratches and the baring of teeth by predators before they truly maim someone. My mouth goes dry as I struggle to speak some sense in this hallucinatory madness, but I don't get the chance as they drown out my voice.
Our Lord, my Prince.
At her words, there is a compulsion to stay, though my heart races in my chest. The fear I should be experiencing refuses to register in my head. Mind and body war with each other, nearly tearing me in two. Oh, you finally returned to us. The compulsion to walk into her arms is strong. Whispers in my head tell me to go to her. They say that she is safety, she is home and heart. We have been waiting for so long. But repulsed at these thoughts, I retch away and turn with a small gasp. Without hesitation, I start to make a run for it. I nearly falter when an angry shriek pierces the air, inhuman and monstrous. I don't dare look back. I just run. I didn't care if this is a drug-induced hallucination or not. Just run. Out of the ballroom. And out of the parlor. It's only then that I bother to look back, hoping and praying to the God I scorn that it did not pursue me. I would have run all the way out of the mansion too, if only someone didn't get in my way. I collide with a body much larger than mine and fall back to the ground, head spinning as I look up at the stained glass. Turning my head to the side replaces the colorful sight with a pair of shiny black shoes. Fatigue fills every inch of my being then, making me refuse to get up. Meanwhile, a familiar head of ginger hair looks down at me in bemusement.
You really must look where you're going if you insist on running about. Do tell, where is the fire?
Nowhere. I had a horrible hallucination. So.
Oh, thank God you're here.
I do hope you don't have a concussion. Can you count backwards from 15 to 1 for me?
Oh, fuck off, you wanker. Just help me up.
I do not think insulting me if you do have a concussion is a smart decision. But no, really. 15 to 1.
That woman, she was here. I told you to keep an eye out for her.
The other man offers an arm and pulls me up to my feet then. But before I can storm off and pull him to the ballroom, he anchors me down with one hand on my shoulder and the other touching the back of my neck, back of my head.
No bruising or bump. That still does not mean that you don't have a concussion. If you are too lazy to count backwards, can you tell me your full name? Where are you currently?
We don't have Lucille Mitchell Wright, and this is the Ermengarde bloody fucking foyer.
Lucille Michelle Wright.
But we don't have time for this.
You must make and have the time to make sure you are not broken in the head. I have already sent security to scour the whole house when I saw you running out of the parlor, Dummkopf. If the woman is here, they will have her. You will only be slowing them down if you plan to interfere.
When he points that out, I realize that there are guards starting to filter into the house as we speak, with some already searching the nearby rooms. Armed and uniformed men go about in pairs, making it so that the house is in a fury of activity. He lets go of me then, with the knowledge that I'm not going to kneel over anytime soon.
I was hoping that you would be tired from dealing with the young miss on my return. Instead, you come running and hit your head. Such a troublesome boy. Shall I be carrying you to bed, too?
Ha!
I can manage just fine on my own. Though I don't see how I can sleep until that woman is caught.
It'll be easier to keep you safe in your quarters. This is twice we've known the woman to break in. I think we can safely presume that you hold her interest.
He says it as a matter of fact, in a tone that brook no argument. Not like I'll argue if it means I'm kept safe. The two of us hurry upstairs, though we remain watchful and wary of any potential threats to my person. We make it to the master bedroom without any trouble though, and two of the security are left outside the door. No problems at all. Not until we get inside. Johan's eyes scan the room wildly, a look of dread on his usual stoic face. And I don't understand for a moment. Looking around the bedroom, it's empty. But then, I realize...
Where's Hana? She came home with you from the hospital, didn't she?
She's supposed to be here. I sent one of the maids to accompany her here, to let her rest.
I feel the color drain from my face when he raises a hand to stop me from charging out there.
Stay.
I'm not staying in here while Hana stays out there.
One of the guards will find her and bring her here.
And what if they don't? What if that woman gets to her first? What if she already has her?
That's not possible.
You can't promise that.
There's no second thought as I reach under my side of the bed and pull out one of my knives. I have no doubt that the other man can take me on if we were both unarmed. But with this, I can even the field, or at least deter him from escalating the situation and risking hurting either of us.
I'm going out there to look for Hana, and you're either with me or you aren't. I'm not risking Hana, and I'm not leaving her alone.
Still, like a stubborn mule, he refuses to bulge from the door. There's a withering look on him that I try to match. One that, somehow, I am losing fast to, even with him not saying a word yet.
Can you see yourself in the mirror right now? You are in no proper state to go looking for anyone. If it will make you happy, I will do the looking. But please, and don't make me repeat this, stay where it's safe, where security can find you.
Watch me.
We already have one person to be worried about. Please don't add another one to it.
Perhaps it is his tone. In spite of his general disdain for virtually everything that has to do with me, I like to think that over the years he has grown to care for Hana at least. Much as I love to admit this, I trust him with her safety over any servant in this house. So, in a quiz.
You have 2 hours, Shirokin. I don't think it'll take that long to find one missing woman in this house. 2 hours. Any more than that, and I'm going out there.
Of course.
Despite his words, he lingers. If I didn't know any better, I'd say he wants to make sure I get in that damn bed and sleep before he turns away from me. What am I, a child? Watching me and treating me like one. There's the reason why we will never get along.
Well, what are you waiting for?
And the knife?
The knife stays.
Huh.
Very well.
Only then does he seem to get the hint. With a nod, he leaves, locks, and closes the door behind him. So, she was missing for a day? For a moment, I still hear his voice while he gives the guards outside firm instructions, then a hush as soon as he departs and his footsteps fade away. One that doesn't quite last. As quickly as the silence settles, lightning flashes across the sky, followed immediately by the loud boom of thunder. And that wanker strikes so dangerously close that I can feel the electricity in the air. The power goes out not a second later, and I feel as if I'm being mocked by whatever greater power there is. All is deathly still for the moment, but soon the rain starts once again. Far heavier than the light drizzle from this morning, its pitter-patter hitting hard against this place's roof. Despite the noise, I find myself drawn to my bed, exhausted, hoping for a little nap. I'm safe here. Hana will be safe too. Shirokin will find her, and when I wake, she'll be here. It does not take long. Once my head hits the pillow, in a matter of minutes, darkness claims me. Bringing with it laughters and whispers of a twisted love from a time long ago, or long gone.